Well guys, here we are at beautiful VIR here for the World Challenge races. As you can see, it is the perfect weather for some weekend racing. We're going to be watching some GT4 class, GT3 class, TC class, and then some spec radicals. I'm going to try to give you guys a guide on how this compares to going to Petit Le Mans, what to expect, where you want to sit, and just how you should prepare for your weekend. But it does not get much better than this. This is actually day 2. Day 1 had no clouds at all. It was perfect weather. I got a little bit too sunburnt, so definitely bring the SPF 50 because you will be outside all day. In total, you have about 12 hours of racing over the 2 days. So for $35, it was a great value. I mean, that's a lot of entertainment for $35. And of course, you can walk into pits just like at Petit Le Mans. So you can walk up, get close and personal with all the cars. They have a pit walk just like Petit Le Mans. And just like Road Atlanta, you can get right up next to the track. I am probably maybe 50 feet from the edge of a track here, and there are some places where you can get even closer, especially over at the roller coaster. So like Petit Le Mans, make sure you bring in a hat, sunglasses. Like I said, bring the SPF 50 because I did get sunburnt yesterday and I'm stuck wearing long sleeves all day today to protect myself from the sun. Bring an umbrella because A, it might rain, and B, I'm using it as a sunshade right now, so that works really well. The beach chairs I talked about last time, again, invaluable. You've got a cooler pack, you've got a little thing to store snacks and your keys and wallet and all that crap, and it folds up and you can easily move from space to space because you will want to move from corner to corner here. I have found that sitting just north of the roller coaster, so you're going to sit just downhill a little bit from the roller coaster turn, that is a great place to sit. You can see from the top of the roller coaster all the way down to about turn 15, so it's a really good spot to sit. I also really like sitting here right at the beginning of the climbing S's on the other side of the bridge, so I can see all the way up the hill and as I come around the end of Oak Tree, so I can see a lot of good stuff there. Especially if some action happens, I can kind of stand up, look around, figure out what's going on. On the other side of the bridge, so right over here, you can see just past the bridge, you can look all the way down into turn 4A and 4B. So that's a really good spot to sit as well. You can get really close to the track. I think that's the closest you can sit anywhere on the track. Next to maybe the roller coaster, you might be closer over there. And lastly, there are some bleachers under some trees that are right at, I believe it's turn 3. And you can see turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4 in AB. So it's really good spot. You can see a lot of action, especially at the beginning of a race where there's going to be most of the action happening. There's going to be an accident or some bumping or people moving up a lot of places really quickly. It's going to happen at the beginning of the race. So that's a good spot to sit. You can get really close to the track. You're also sitting in the shade if you're under a tree. If you go up a little bit closer to turn 3, you're not going to be in the shade anymore, but you can get a lot of action right there. A lot of stuff's going on. You can see people passing down into turn 1, and it's just a great place to sit. You're also really close to the concession stand and food trucks and bathrooms and all that. So it's a good spot to make up camp. So those are my 4 favorite places to sit here at VIR. Of course, you're parked right in the middle of the infield on the north side of a track, so it's really easy to get stuff in and out of your car, so you don't have to carry everything with you. Road Atlanta, you're going to be across the street. It's going to be about a 20-25 minute round trip to go back to your car across the street, get your stuff out, get back to where you were inside the track, especially if you're on foot and not on a golf cart. So it is a big deal here. You've got a big advantage of where your car is parked. Now, the one thing I like about Road Atlanta better is I can get to any part of the track, any single corner. I can see it from the inside of the track, and a lot of the corners I can see from the outside of the track too. You know, I can see all of the mid-straight all the way down to 10A and 10B and through 12, all the way up to 1. I can see on the outside of a track. So I've got a lot of more access at Road Atlanta. Here you can see just on the other side of the bridge, you can see some people under here who are camping, so you can get on the other side of a track there, or over on the south paddock, you can see some stuff from the outside of the south paddock. But if you're at the south paddock, that's all you got, is you got those one set of bleachers and you can hang out over there. But that's really it. So you can see the back straight, but other than that, there's not a whole lot going on. So you're really committed to that spot. If you're on the north side like we are, you can go to all those different places I just told you about, but you cannot really see the south side of a track at all. It's just from a good distance, and you're really relying on the Jumbotron or the radio to let you know what's going on. That's another thing, comparing IMSA to World Challenge. There is one Jumbotron here. That's all I can see is the one Jumbotron on the North Paddock, which is over by the turn 1, 2, 3, and 4 complex. You can see it from like turn 2 and 3 really well. But it's much smaller than the ones at Road Atlanta, and I can't hear the radio announcer everywhere. So if you really want to listen to that, make sure you're bringing a radio, because you really want to be able to keep track of what's going on, because you can only see these cars for about 30 seconds at a time, and they're doing about 2-minute laps. So you've got a good portion of the lap where you can't see what's going on. One thing to compare this type of racing, where World Challenge, it's doing a bunch of shorter races and all of the classes are pretty much separated. There's some sub breakdown within the classes, whereas Petit Le Mans, you've got cars that are completely different all at the same time. You got a lot more cars. There's always something crossing by in front of you while you're sitting in your seat, whereas here you might have some dead spots for up to a minute where nothing's driving by. So it's a little bit of a different experience. There's a lot more variety, and of course everything is production based, or looks like a production car. So even the GT3 cars, it still kind of looks like a regular 911 or an NSX or a Ferrari 48 or whatever it is. And personally, I'm not a fan of the prototypes. I don't really care about prototype racing. It's just not a big deal, except for really just at Le Mans, I just care who wins. So other than that, I much prefer GT cars because I can see cars that I actually like and care about on the street. So it's just a little bit more applicable to me. So it really just comes down to what type of racing do you like, where are you located. The production value here is not nearly as high. They did the one televised race. There's not like that carnival that's inside Road Atlanta for Petit Le Mans. There's none of that. Really, FCP Euro were the only people handing out free swag, and even then it wasn't really anything compared to what you would get at Petit Le Mans. But the ticket was half the price, and I'm here for 2 days. Now, at Petit Le Mans, you're still getting 10 hours of racing, where here you're getting 12. So the racing value is pretty similar. It's just spread over a longer period of time, so you can spend all weekend here out in the sun, nice and relaxed. So they're very similar in a lot of ways and very different in other ways. So I'll cut to some footage of the different classes going by so you can get an idea what car is in each different class and what you're looking at. But it sounds like they are starting the last GT4 race of the day, so they might be coming by with the safety car. So we'll get a little bit of footage of that. Of course, if you guys have any questions about coming to one of these venues or seeing these races or anything at all, drop those in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week.